we're in the home of J.P. Sly, who is a magnificent miniaturist and started out as a master needlepointer who paints canvases, and I actually took a class on painting canvases with him. I'm still not that good, but he's great. So we're going to go into his world of incredible miniatures. First of all, look at this armoire, this chest. I just don't think it could be any more magnificent. And all of the rooms in here. Wow, I just wanted to get an overview. So JP, can you tell us about how you got started?
Hi. Pretty much when I was a kid, I think I remember playing with miniatures that my grandfather had made when we would go visit them in Coleman, Alabama. It was the summer of 1913. He and his father, my great-grandfather, had a woodworking and metal project that they did together. And they came up with these tiny little tools, a little mallet and a little axe, and they were my favorite things to play with whenever I went over. And fortunately got to keep those. We can show those to you in a little bit. And that just kind of got me started into the crazy world of miniatures.
So did your grandfather like miniatures, or what kind of project was it? Do you remember?
It was, my great-grandfather did metal lathe work and was owned a lumber mill and sold lumber to the local cooperage, which is a barrel company that my grandfather ended up working for his entire life. And so my great-grandfather was just teaching him how to use some of the equipment, the lathe for cutting metal pieces, how to forge metal, and how to work with wood. It was just a little summer project they did.
Fantastic. All right, let's look at those two little tools
Okay,
that got you started.
Okay. This is actually a photograph of my grandfather, John Sly, about the time these were made in 1913.
And that's in Coleman, Alabama.
Coleman, Alabama.
Look at him on the horse. Look how, oh my gosh, he's probably 10 or 12. Oh.
He was 13 the year that they made these.
Okay.
And these were the little pieces that they made.
These are unbelievable. That's real wood and real. Tell us about this.
Yeah, the mallet is turned on a metal lathe, and that's what my great-grandfather was teaching him. And then they forged the axe head, and then they whittled the handles. And so this really kind of got me obsessed with the idea of having miniatures made out of the real material.
The real thing.
The real thing.
Yeah, no
So,
plastics. It's.
right.
I mean, they've got to mimic a real home and real.
Try to. Yeah,
Okay.
try to. Yeah.
All right, this is sort of the piece de resistance. We're going to start here.
Okay.
First, tell us about the cabinet.
My older brother, Chuck, who is a master woodworker, has helped me with many miniature projects.
So wood is in your family. I mean,
Yes.
it just has come down through the generations.
Yes.
Okay, where should I? Let's
so,
see. Well, I'm going to just do this, and then you can bring
Okay,
us
sure.
up like through. Here's room.
What it is I've tried to base it on a 18th century country home in England, possibly 16th century. A lot of the houses back then were just added onto and added onto and added onto.
Yes.
But what I've done is tried to set this in the year 1912, when the family is just starting to get electricity,
Yes.
a telephone installed, and
Downton
plumbing.
Abbey-ish.
Very.
So we're going to start here.
Yes.
Tell us about the pieces. First, oh my gosh, look at the tapestry, which is so perfect because you needlepoint. Look at the Corinthian columns and the detail and the molding. Look. Oh my gosh.
This painting of the lady is done by a miniature artist in Alabama. The fella is an antique that was done on vellum. It's a watercolor on vellum.
Can't get my camera in there very well. Sorry, people.
The lighting in this room is all bronze, done by Jim Pounder. And you'd commented on the tapestries. These are antique purses
Purses.
that I've taken the needlepoint out of.
Oh,
and
how
tapestries
clever.
out of.
And look at how you've hung it on these gilt rods, which, you know, are apropos to today's home. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look
This is another little bronze, also by Jim Pounder.
Sorry for that. It's hard to get it in focus.
Yeah,
And a needlepoint stool.
that's also antique that I reupholstered.
Okay, and then here's some. Look at this door. Gosh,
The
it's
door
hard.
is a manufacturer. They're designed in the States and are produced in China.
And is this wallpaper?
No, it's painted to look like stone. It's illustration board that I've cut to look like stone and then painted.
So you painted it and then placed it in here. Oh, this little guy's crooked.
I just saw he's coming off.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was re-putting all of them in this morning. The wax, that's the hardest part, is trying to figure out how to hang.
Yeah, it's so tiny. And look at these little lanterns. Yep, there's a pair of them. Nothing like symmetry. I'm all about
If you're
symmetry.
familiar with the movie The Ghost and Mrs. Muir,
Oh yeah.
those were props from the movie that Jim scaled down and made in miniature. But you'll see those in the house in the movie.
So clever. Okay, and then you've got a little bust of a lady here. And then it looks like they're going out for a stroll. Well, no, they're waiting for their nanny, I guess.
The little boy was made by a friend in Germany. His name is Sebastian Frank. He's an incredible doll maker, and I sent him a picture of my mother's father, my other grandfather, about the year 1910, and he dressed him in the same outfit.
Oh, that is so precious. And is his name? Did you name him Sebastian, or did you name him after your grandfather?
Charles. After
Charles.
my grandfather.
Oh, love it.
But
Okay.
I'm hoping to have figures for all of the rooms of the house done by Sebastian.
And where does he live?
Germany.
Wow. Okay, here's another tapestry, and look at this gorgeous piece of furniture.
That's a really beautiful piece made by a friend of mine, Tony Jones.
Is that called
It's
ormolu, or
really-
what's?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's all burl wood. It's real marble on the top
Oh
that
my
he
gosh.
gets.
And are those pots
I'm not sure where he gets
Dresden,
it
or
from.
what are the?
They're
urns?
reproductions of little Sèvres
Sev.
porcelain.
Okay. And look at the food dogs. And the floor, which is parquet. And then the other side, who's that gentleman? Do you know? Look, that frame is fabulous.
I believe it's Louis XVI.
Oh.
It could be George III. I'm trying to figure out because I found portraits of both of them that look almost identical, but I'm trying to
He looks like George III to me.
figure out from the outfit who it
Okay.
is.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And look at these.
And since this is in England, I'm figuring it's got to be George III.
It looks like George III to me, just in the face. First of all, look at the wallpaper.
It's actually hand-dyed silk.
Oh my gosh, how did you get it on there so flat?
It's on illustration board, and then the board is
Okay.
inserted into the room.
Oh my gosh, having to measure this and get it precise?
It's fun.
Oh,
The paintings on the back wall are all antiques. They're watercolors on ivory.
watercolors on ivory. Ivory fabric?
No, like a
Oh, ivory,
wedge of
ivory. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. Sorry, this camera. I can't. I'm sorry. Okay, there. That's a little better. Look at the chandelier. It's lit. Oh, and look at the fireplace. Seriously. And the little needle-pointed fire screen.
Peek in here just
Yeah.
a second, and you can see that the fire is
Oh,
lit.
and the fire is lit. And the andirons, they have little rams on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and look at the bar.
I don't know if you can see it. There's a sterling silver tag around it that says brandy.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get that in, but seriously, I'm gonna try. Okay, that is just over the top amazing. And over here, you have, an actual Waterford bowl.
Yes. It's,
Okay, I'm gonna try to get that in focus.
Jim Ireland, he was a cutter for Waterford his life. And when he retired from Waterford, he got into miniatures and up until he passed away 3 years ago, did miniature reproductions using the same patterns.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to put that in perspective. That's about as big as a thumbnail.
About
A man's thumbnail. And this precious little girl is asleep on her needlepoint tapestry sofa with her doll. Look at her
That's
little
another piece by Sebastian.
face. Does she have a name?
No.
We need to give her a name. Why don't we call her Rose? That's such a good 18th century Victorian name. Okay, oh my gosh.
The floral arrangement was done by a friend, Diane Collier, who did spectacular miniature flowers. Each petal is cut out of paper, rice paper.
I was wondering that.
Colored and then put together one petal at a time.
Can you imagine the time it took? Oh my gosh. And the tools. Okay, this is a marble table with gilded dolphins. Love that. And of course the beautiful needlepoint rug.
Yeah, I did this piece. It's designed from an old design.
So you actually needlepointed this.
Mm-hmm.
You stitched this.
Yes,
and
this is on 24 count.
That's so tiny.
Done
For
in
those of
silk.
you who don't know, oh my gosh. For those of you who don't know needlepoint, we'll talk about it in a minute, but 24 count is tiny. Okay, and this precious chair.
The chair is a vintage piece, the wood, and it matches the sofa. The sofa upholstery had been ruined at one point, so I reupholstered those in, again, antique needlepoint.
Oh my gosh.
The drop leaf table in the very back is by John Hodgson from England.
That's a Pembroke table, isn't it? Because I
Yes.
used to have one. I gave it to my aunt. Well, actually, it was for my grandmother's. And then she wanted it, so I gave it to her. And I love the, this, what do you call
Oh, the
this?
plaster frieze around the
Frieze,
top.
yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. And the top of the curtain. What do you call that?
The cornice.
Cornice, thank you. I couldn't get the word out. Thank you. Okay.
The clock on the mantle is from France. It's a working clock.
It works?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I don't know if I can get this.
Try and come down and you might be able to get it.
Okay, I'm gonna very gently move the chandelier. Okay, it's a working clock. Amazing. And it looks like it's no, it's velvet.
It is wood painted to resemble burl wood with the
I
ormolu
see.
on top.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna go back from the living room, back through the foyer, and over to the library?
Yes, the gentleman's library or cabinet of curiosities. Still have a lot of things to put in the cabinets in the back. This little lady is an ivory figurine that I found at an antique shop. And the reliquary has a skull.
Yes.
Don't know who it is.
Is that what you call that, a reliquary?
Reliquary, yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, and here's another skull head. Cabinet of Curiosities. And it looks like a Revolutionary soldier.
Yes.
And then
Look
a
at
pretty dame.
She was a piece I found at an estate sale. She's also antique watercolor on vellum.
Okay, is that a working clock in the back?
No, that one is not. I
Okay.
don't believe.
And let's talk about what's in the cabinets.
Okay.
Look at these tiny antique books. I bet you they all open up and have writing in them, don't they?
They do not.
Oh no!
I cannot afford those when they run about $100 a piece.
Oh my goodness!
These are faux books. I do have one on the book stand that is a working book that you'll get to in a bit.
Okay.
The little Chinese lady is the tiniest doctor's doll I've ever found.
And she is in repose.
It's carved out of ivory. Back in the day, ladies were not allowed to disrobe when they went to the doctor.
How
So
does that work?
doctors had a little lady on their desk, and you would point to where you felt your pain, and that's how he would diagnose what was wrong with you. But the ladies were not allowed to undress.
Oh my gosh!
So that's why she's called a doctor's doll.
Oh, I'm learning so much. Okay, more books. Okay. Now I'm going to try to gently go over here. So this is a book.
Yes.
I hope you can see that.
That is by a bookmaker in the Netherlands.
All hand painted?
They are printed, but they are bound like original, like real books.
Like stitching, like they did in the old time. And oh my gosh, okay, and this little owl.
Here's a little ivory piece that I got at a Christmas party as a gift.
Oh, that's
the
sweet.
painting of the gentleman in the back is one I did a few years ago.
You painted him?
I painted him, and the mogul in front is another antique on ivory that I found in an antique shop.
Okay.
And he's in his original frame that he was in when I found him.
Wow. And look at this precious little cabinet here, set of drawers. And what is that below? Looks like a mirror?
A spyglass.
Oh, a spyglass. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see now, yeah. Look at
kinda
this.
cool.
All right, what is this? This right here.
That I have to find room for on the wall.
Oh, it's a shield. Chest shield?
It is the chest plate and
Chest plate.
2 swords.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And it is sterling silver
Oh, wow.
and very sharp.
Oh,
I have
gotta
got
be
myself
careful.
on those little swords.
Gotta be careful. Okay, since I'm on my knees, we're gonna go ahead
Continue downstairs. Okay.
Look at all this.
You had mentioned Downton Abbey earlier.
Yes.
What was a huge inspiration for me when planning this was a film called The Gosford Park.
Yes.
And it's by the same author as Downton Abbey.
Julian
And-
Fellows?
Yes, it is. And it was very upstairs, downstairs, and they did a lot of detail downstairs that I was able to get into. I don't know if you can see, the back door is actually a walk-in silver safe.
Oh, I want one of those
And it
in my
was
house.
covered with the regular door.
So now we're going into, this looks like the back door.
The wine cellar.
Oh, the wine cellar.
Yes.
Okay, so back there looks like, like behind the door.
Sort of like the little entry for the help. When
Okay.
They would go in and out of the house, a place to hang their coats and hats.
And I love that the walls are brick and stone. And then over here, it's kind of hard to see, but let me see if I can go in. Oh, I can't. Oh, well, I'm going to go up, and there's the wine on these shelves. And there's wine here. And then there's a little, what is this little barrel thing? It's got a little barrel and a lantern. Is that oil with a lantern?
Yeah, it was just a little oil lamp.
Okay.
That would have been used on a ship.
Oh, okay, because there's lots of oil in that barrel, so it, okay, so it doesn't, it's always filled so it can stay lit.
Yes.
And over here is probably,
That's just where the butler is
butler will-
probably preparing all of the
and tasting.
drinks for, probably, but preparing the drinks for the evening dinner.
Wonderful. Okay. So now we're going back to, is this the maid, more the kitchen?
Yeah,
This is
here
the
we are in
cook's
the
kitchen. Okay.
Lots of
Oh, I love
copper
the detail.
pans and pots. They have their new Edwardian toaster for the bread.
And where's that? Can you,
That is right here.
oh, there's the toaster. Look how tiny that whisk is. And the fruits and vegetables look so fresh.
The cook is holding the pheasants that had just been brought in for dinner.
So maybe the master went out and found them and shot them, and she's going to fix them for dinner.
Exactly.
Now, is that the butler's pantry behind her, or is that...
That's the dumbwaiter.
I mean, the dumbwaiter. Yes, that's what I meant. All the cooking utensils on the stove. She's so neat and tidy, and I love the cabinets. They're
For
just...
someone that does not cook at all,
Oh,
I
really?
love doing kitchens. I love all
Isn't
of the
that
stuff
fun?
that comes with kitchens.
I do too, because I do like to cook. Look at the sink. Oh, for shame. There's dishes in the sink. And what is that for? The little basket?
The shopping basket.
Oh, it's a shopping basket. And look at this precious little thing up here. A little elephant teapot. And up here you can see the light coming in because this is below ground. So you can see the light coming in. So interesting. Okay, so now we're going to go upstairs. JP, you did these paintings, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to just pause for a second and talk about your painting background because these are exquisite and they are so tiny. Stay tuned for the rest of the tour of this darling miniature house. Until then, be sweet.